Greetings, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Firing Line. As you can tell by my attire, we're going to be talking about overdoing the Food Network, overdoing cooking shows. You know, back in the day when the Food Network started, you had a variety. Now you got, multiple cooking shows of one food. And today I'm going to talk about cooking shows of cake. So soon as we get the audience seated, we'll get started here. I don't know why my producer insists on bringing the audience in when I start the show. Usually, of course, in big productions, the audience is there. And the host walks onto the stage. Well, unfortunately, we're a cheap set. Is everybody here? All right. We're going to start the firing line. Welcome, everybody. Thank you. All right. Although I'll tell you what, before we get started here, I always you got to excuse me. I got a little mini tablet, and every time I go to hit my script, it disappears. It gets smaller. There we go. All right. Although I'll tell you what, before we get started here, let me just top off my cup of coffee here. What? Doesn't yours make that noise? Chock full of nuts always makes that noise when you pour it. All right. There's been so many reruns on all the channels I watch. It's amazing. You get 400 cable channels, and every one of them's got a rerun going this week. So I haven't watched the Food Network since Emeril left. I loved Emeril Lagasse. So I decided, let's watch the Food Network. Big mistake. Big mistake. They have now, back in the day when Emeril was on, you didn't have every cooking show cooking the same item. If Emeril cooked soup, then Bobby Flay cooked steak, and so on and so on. Oh, no. We have 3 programs just on cake alone. And then the best one, the Cake Boss. Well, I didn't know you could be the boss of a food. Well, if he's going to be the boss of cake, I'm going to be the boss of bacon. Call me the bacon boss. Now, have you watched this? Have you watched the Cake Boss? Well, I've watched a couple of shows, and I've got it down pat now. Next week is going to be about cake. How do I know this? It's a template. Every week. And next week's show, I haven't seen it, But I can tell you what's going to happen. Somebody's going to run in and, buddy, it's my son's birthday. I need a cake. He likes Shrek. Can we do something about this? Buddy considers it. And then he has a sit down, formal sit down, and he yells. He yells at the camera. It was the kid's birthday. He needed a cake. He likes Shrek. And then Buddy goes on to explain. We're going to take a 5-layer cake and we're going to cut it like a Shrek. Then we're going to cover it in green fondant. People, you want to play a drinking game? Every time Buddy says fondant, take a drink. Because guaranteed, it's like, our fondant was ruined. Within the first 10 minutes of the show, you'll be calling an ambulance because you'll have alcohol poisoning. Oh, you know, I thought reality shows were getting bad. It's just, how much longer are these networks going to insult our intelligence? You know, it's really sad. You know, when they had Emeril live, he pulled the hugest viewership in the history of the Food Network. And they decided after his last season not to renew him. And they brought on all these goofy ass cooking shows. And I'll tell you what, look how many of them have, you know, look at Paula Deen, you know, she not only lost her show, she lost all of her restaurants. She lost her product and she lost everything. Bobby Flay is another one. His restaurants are slowly going down the tubes. You know what is really, I feel insulting? You know what Emeril is doing now? He's hyping an air fryer oven. Yes, he is hyping an air fryer oven. That's sad. This man had multiple famous restaurants down south. Still does. Has a huge following. And he's hyping an air fryer oven. I'll tell you what. I wanted to watch the Food Network as a diversion. I'm going to start watching videos on YouTube because it's sad. It's sad how the networks insult our intelligence. But that's it for today. Going to sign off. Hope you have a good weekend. Remember, I am the boss of bacon. The bacon boss. The bacon boss. And get yourself some of this chock full of nuts. Because I'm going to come out with my own coffee. I'm going to compete against them. I'm going to come out with chock full of bolts. See you, everybody.